Building an email list is not enough anymore. You need to be looking at building not just an email list, but building a customer list and taking things deeper and further. So if you're in the online space, look further and look beyond just an email list, especially if you just got started, because it's the customer list that will drive your business. Hey, I'm Sasha, and today I want to share with you the difference between an email list and a customer list, and why you should always be taking your relationship to the next level with your customers. So when you look at things and you look at the online space and the way that things are crafted and created these days, everybody's looking to collect an email address here and there. And our email address has become a form of commodity, just like when you connect to Facebook, when you connect to any social media, these things have become a sort of commodity. Hey, give me your email address and I will give you an ebook. Give me your email address and you will get this. So the email address these days has become a commodity to where you're exchanging it for other goods or services. And oftentimes now, many people have a secondary email address in order to collect these freebies and goodies. But that's just a starting point when you're dealing with an online business. So if you have an online business or a YouTube channel, or you're looking to make money on the side, you know how powerful that email list can be, especially if you've been in business for quite a little while. But you need to be taking things even further beyond just an email list, because an email list is just that. It's an email list. It's not your customer list. And going deeper in the relationship is always something that you should strive to do with your customers. So take, for example, a dating relationship. As you are looking to court someone or get together with someone and build upon a friendship, you're basically looking to take that relationship further to the next stage, until it can't go to the next stage, and you either move on and move to someone else, or that relationship just continues to grow indefinitely in a married relationship and so forth, or a long-term bonding relationship. So you're always looking to, okay, first you're doing a date and a couple of dates, and then things get closer, you open up, you do more psychological connections and bonding, and then you might get into a physical connection and bonding. And this is what happens when it comes to your customers as well. Initially, you start with just, basic interaction online. There's just a little bit of this exchange happening. But then they might give you their email address, and then they might decide to, learn more about you, connect with you a little bit more. And then they may decide to buy one of your products, or a product that you are an affiliate for, because they believe in you and they trust you. And you're taking things further, and you're converting an email list person to now a customer base. So that's ultimately what you want to do. And the more you take people from just being an email list person or a person on your mailing list into a customer, the deeper that relationship gets, and then the bond becomes much closer. And then they trust you more. They'll buy more of your products. They'll buy more of your service. That's ultimately what happens as you take things further. So what does the customer list then really entail? What does it mean to have a customer list versus just an email list? All right, so for me, the way I look at it is, if you're just building a list, and let's just say we have two lists over here. So this would be one list, and this would be our second list right here. If we have these lists that we're building, let's say this is our email list, and this is our customer list, okay? Our email list is typically, again, the connection level that's involved in it is very minor. So in here, you might have a name, and then you might have an email address. You might also have some of the pages that they visited or things like that. It just really depends. But you're building this out, with time, and you're continuing to build these things. Now, this could be, let's just say, okay, a 30,000 person list for an email list. Now, your customer list is the list that actually people have purchased your products or services. They are typically the people that are closer connected to you. So even though an email list might be 30,000, let's just say you had a Facebook fan page, which maybe is 300,000. So you can see that the lower point of entry continues to be larger and larger. But as you dig deeper and you go to the next stage, and as you go to the next stage, it continues to kind of get smaller, simply because the deeper the relationship gets, the more difficult it is to spend time and connect with those people. But the value of that also increases. So here, as your customer list, let's just say you have 5,000 customers. Okay, but in here, what you get to know is a lot more. You might have a name, you'll probably have an email, but you'll also might have a phone number. Okay, you might also have their address, like a physical address, where you can ship them postcards or mailings and so on, or give them a phone call. So all these things start to work together. You might know their birthday if you've talked to them on the phone and things like that. They filled out a survey maybe. You might know their birthday, things they like, things they don't like. They might have attended a webinar with you and you get to interact with them a little more in detail. So this now customer list, you can see how much more powerful it is, because when you start getting into having somebody's phone number or having somebody's address, now you can ship them postcards, physical goods, and connect to them at a deeper level. Just think about it when you look at the level of a relationship. So if we take, for example, Facebook, or a person you know on Facebook, or anybody online, how many of those people do you know their address off the top of your head? So if we take a look at the relationship levels, let's just say with Facebook, how many of those do you actually know their address? How many of those people? Probably not that many of those people. So instead, you probably just know their email address if that's what they have posted or listed. But then as you continue to dig deeper, let's just say it's maybe closer connections, people who you might know their phone number. Okay, if you know their phone number, let's just say they were high school or college buddies, you might know their phone number, but you don't have that address still, because the relationship is not deep enough. But as you get into a personal level, you actually know where people live. You know exactly how to get to their house. You talk to them on the phone, you have their phone number. You might even know their daily schedule, what they do, what they like, what they don't like. You might know their allergies. So all this becomes closer and closer. And that is because you're building that connection level. Okay, so this is a low connection level to a higher connection level. So what you're trying to do is take the email list and grow it. So the email list might not be, like a Facebook connection level, but it could be over here somewhere at this level. And you're trying to take this to the next level where it's a customer base. Now, you might not be able to take them too high because they are business related customers, but you could get into the point where the highest form could be, a private coach or mentor where you really interact one-on-one with your customer list and customer base, which now they've become a mentoring student. But you're always looking to grow that relationship further until the point where if they've become successful from what you've coached, what you've done, what you've offered, more power to them, because after all, by then they may not need you as much because they've been successful with you. They've gotten what they could out of you. And that's just part of life. Things move on and you continue to move forward, but you're always looking at growing that lifespan, that level of the deepening of that relationship. All right, so thanks for joining me in this video. I hope you really found it helpful and insightful to building a customer list rather than just a newsletter list or email list. Remember to always take things further, deepen that relationship, continue to take things to the next level and grow people from an email list to a customer list to a coaching client or a personal mentoring student, whatever your stages are within your business. Thanks for joining me in this video. Now, if you want to continue watching other training videos that I have, then just click the thumbnail here and you'll continue learning with me. But if you want to sign up to my newsletter list, get some promotions that I release only to newsletter subscribers, maybe see my recent courses, my books, and things that I'm working on, then go ahead and click this link right over here. When you click that link, enter your name and email address, and you'll be added to my newsletter list. In the end, remember, do what you love, contribute to others, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you next time.